to see it. 道南无 perfectly enlightened one.
Homage to the first, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Nam mô Sa Đăng Thô Sư Chế Đô Ye Ơ La Bồ Đi Sam Miêu Sam Phù Tô Xie.
Nam mô Sa Đăng Thô Sư Chế Đô Ye Ơ La Bồ Đi Sam Miêu Sam Phù Tô Xie.
Nam mô Tát Đa Tha Tô Ya Ya Ra Ra A Đê Tam Miêu Tam Bồ Đà Tọa.
Nam mô Tát Đa Tha Tô Ya Ya Ra Ra A Đê Tam Bồ Đà Tọa.
The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma, 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning. Vô thượng thâm thâm bí nhiều pháp, vạn thiên vạn kiếp nan tạo ngộ, ngã kim kiến văn đăng thọ trì, nguyện dạy Như Lai chân thật nghĩa. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Earth Store Bodhisattva, Venerable Shenhua, Venerable Bhikshuni, O Good Advisors, Amitabha, chư Phật Bồ Tát, thưa Địa Tạng Bồ Tát, thưa Tiến Hóa, thưa Chư Sư Cô, thưa quý vị thiện tri thức, A Di Đà Phật. We on slide 285, cái slide số 285. The text mentions about the Indian caste system. Bên Ấn Độ có cái gia cấp khác nhau, 4 loại gia cấp. Đầu tiên hết là tình hành, thứ nhì là sát đế lợi, thứ ba là hệ sa, thứ tư là túc đà la. Four groups, four brackets of social statuses. The first one is Brahmins, or the pure caste. Brahmin stands for purity. And the second class is Kshatriyas, or it's a warrior class. And third one is Vaishyas, which is the merchant class. People who have to work for a living. Therefore, they're not as high class as the rest of us. The higher upper two classes. And the fourth one is the Chandalas, or the really lowest class, the butchers and the people of more servile. Okay? Cái tình hành là cái chủng tộc mà về những người tu hành, họ là được coi trọng là cao nhất trong tầng lớp xã hội, tại vì họ tu cái tình hành, okay? được tôn trọng nhất. Sau cái dòng sát đế lợi, cái dòng vương chủng là hoàng tộc đó, là họ làm cầm quyền của xã hội, họ người cầm quyền. Okay. Cái dòng thương gia, cái dòng phải làm việc. Từ xưa mình có tiền, mình đâu cần làm việc đâu, mình giàu có không cần làm việc, thành ra họ phải thừa cái hạng người phải cần làm việc, gọi là thương gia. Còn cái dòng thứ tư là túc đà la, tức là cái thấp nhất, là những người mà phải làm đại khái là làm những cái việc làm thấp nhất trong xã hội, như là làm đồ tể hoặc là đi làm tôi tớ cho người ta. Từ xưa những cái dòng họ người ta không có loạn xạ với nhau. Riêng kẻ ra tinh hành thì dòng tinh hành đó thì họ Bà La Môn thì họ chơi Bà La Môn thôi, chứ không có xét đi liên hệ với những cái dòng họ khác. So back then the upper case and lower case do not mix. Okay, the Buddha actually is the first person who created a sangha where there's no case differentiation. có tận vị của mình. The first one to create the first form of democracy in the world. More or less. Hồi xưa Phật là người đầu tiên tạo ra sáng tác ra cái chủ nghĩa. Okay, so a little bit commercial about Buddhism for any questions. Okay, very important. Back then, the social status is very important. You go by lineage. The Brahmins, okay, they're very proud of themselves. They look at themselves as descendants, direct descendants of gods. Xưa dòng họ Ba La Môn, họ coi họ cao cả, tại họ con cháu của những người. And therefore, they consider themselves to be the most honored lineage. They demand to be honored. In fact, they believe that upon the end of their lives, they'll be reborn into the Brahma heavens. Họ tin rằng sau khi họ kết thúc cuộc đời của loài người, họ sẽ được sinh vào cái dòng sinh lên cõi trời Phạm Thiên. Okay, so they think themselves really special. Okay, really a god for life. Okay. So, such a Brahmin came and saw the Buddha and said, you know, what about you Buddhists? What's this thing about Buddhism you're creating? See, Brahmin is the way to go because we are the most honored. Thì cái ông Bà La Môn kia mà tới gặp Đức Phật, mới nói là cái Phật giáo là cái gì mà kỳ dữ? Phật giáo là đồ còn chưa phải là tôn quý. Chúng tôi Bà La Môn mới là được tôn quý. And the Buddha said, you know, in Buddhism, let me tell you something. Phật mới giảng cho người Bà La Môn biết. Giving as a foundation of cultivation. You see, the Brahmins pride themselves on knowing how to cultivate. They're the true cultivators. Okay? So the Buddha explained to them, in terms of true cultivation, giving must be the foundation for all kinds of true cultivation. Any kind of true cultivation. Thì Phật mới giảng, ông có biết không? Quý vị là người tu hành chân chính, nhưng đều trong cái Phật giáo chúng tôi, cái tu hành, cái ân bạn tu hành đó, là phải bố thí. Tức là Phật nói khéo, quý vị biết bố thí, quý vị đâu có bố thí đâu, quý vị đâu biết tu đâu. Therefore, in other words, the Buddha is reproaching them, saying, you Brahmin think too much of yourselves. You think yourselves as great cultivators, and you don't know how to cultivate because you don't give, you don't practice giving. Okay, that's the Buddha, unlike most of us, has a rather gentle way of reproaching people who are too high on themselves. Okay, and in fact, as far as Buddhism is concerned, giving and doing good are the basis for a great class. Thì ra trong Phật giáo mình, cái bố thí và cái làm thiện, làm tốt, làm thiện là nó giúp mình, nó tạo là cái căn bản của một cái giai cấp mà quý nhất. Okay, and in Buddhism, you get honored. You're honored from giving and from goodness, not from birth. You earn it. Trong Phật giáo mình được tôn quý là tại mình hành động, mình bố thí, mình hành thiện, mình làm việc thiện, chứ không phải vì tại mình sinh vào cái dòng dõi tôn quý mà thành tôn quý được. Okay, we make ourselves honored. We earn it. We don't inherit it. Cái dòng dõi cái cao quý là tại mình cái do cái nghiệp, cái hành động của mình, chứ không phải do cái sự sinh trưởng của mình. Okay, any questions? Has it changed at all since the Buddha explained it a few thousand years ago?
No.
Hasn't, huh? Oh.
Yes, it has. That's why they didn't last in India with Master, right?
That's why
They're not in India.
that's why they no longer exist. Because they
Because
fail
they
to
will not
understand
get
the
all the
essence of their so-called superiority. Bởi vì cái dòng dõi Ba La Môn là họ cần ngày họ biến mất là tại vì họ không hiểu được cái căn bản của cái tôn quý. Poison 287. Poisonless placed his palms together respectfully and told the Bodhisattva, "Please, Holy One, return to your original dwelling. Do not be worried or sorrowful, for the offense Latin woman Yue Li was born in the heavens 3 days ago. It is said that she received the benefit of the meritorious deeds performed by a filial child, who for her mother's sake practiced giving at the stupas and temples of enlightenment flower samadhi self-mastery king of Escon 1. Not only has the Bodhisattva's mother obtained release from hell, but also all those people in the Avicii on that day attained to bliss and were reborn together with her." When the ghost king was finished speaking, he withdrew with palms still respectfully joined. 289. Chú quỷ chắp tay mà cung kính bạch: "Xin thánh nữ trở về, khỏi cần lo buồn thương nhớ. Nữ tội nhân duyệt lễ lợi đã sinh thiên cách đây 3 ngày. Được biết rằng nhờ hiếu nữ lập cúng tu phước bố thí chùa tháp Đức Giác Hoa Tự Tại Vương Như Lai, không phải một mình mẹ của Bồ Tát được thoát địa ngục, mà tội nhân vô gián ngục trong ngày ấy cũng đắc lạc, cũng cùng sinh thiên." Nói rồi chú quỷ chắp tay phi lễ mà cáo thoại. It's the united way. That's how it first started. By helping her mother, she helped the other beings in the house as well. That's why the ghost king Poisonless puts his palms together out of respect and awe, and trying to comfort and dispel the woman's worries. Okay. Thì bởi vậy chắp tay là tại vì chú quỷ mới muốn an ủi cho những người thánh nữ này, người đàn bà này, nói là đừng có lo nữa, tại vì không những vì cái hành động của cái bà đó đã mẹ bà được thoát, mà những cái người tội nhân khác trong cái ngục ngày đó cũng được thoát và được sinh vào cõi trời. Isn't it wonderful? I mean, it's such a warm, heartwarming tale that you could do someone, and then you can benefit so many people out of an act of goodness to your own mother. That's the moral here. When you're good to your mother, you're good to your parent, you're feeling the parents, the people around them also benefits from us. Cái lời dạy của kinh đó, cái ý nghĩa là khi mình báo hiếu cho người có ơn mình, thì không phải riêng những người cha mẹ mình được lợi, mà những người xung quanh người cha mẹ mình cũng được lợi. Okay. 291. The Brahmin woman quickly returned as if from a dream, understood what had happened, and swore a deep vow before the image of enlightened flower Samadhi self-master king thus come one in the temple, saying, "I vow to establish many expedient devices in response to living beings who are suffering for offenses. Until the end of future aeon, I shall cause those beings to obtain liberation." 293. Nữ Bà La Môn liền trong mộng trở về, ngộ việc này rồi tức khắc đến trước hình tượng của Đức Giác Hoa Tự Tại Vương Như Lai trong tháp mà lập hoằng thệ nguyện: "Nguyện tận vì lai kiếp nếu có nghiệp khổ chúng sanh, rộng tạo phương tiện mà làm giúp giải thoát." 294. So she quickly returned because to her house return from a dream to a house because she does not belong there. The hell is not for her. Trở về ngay lập tức là tại vì chỗ đó, chỗ địa ngục là chỗ của cái người nữ nhân, người thánh nhân này. And thanks to the Buddha's power, she understood what happened. Nhờ Phật lực mà cái người này ngộ được cái hiểu được cái chuyện này, hiểu rằng không phải là một cái mơ, không phải là giấc mơ mà sự thật. So she realized it's not a dream, it's really what happened. Okay? And therefore, for the first time in her cultivation life, đây là lần đầu tiên mà trong cái việc tu hành của người Bồ Tát này là she made a vow, a deep vow, lập cái hoằng thệ nguyện. That is endless, vô tận, cái nguyện nó vô tận. Okay? Questions? This is how she repaid the Buddha's kindness. Thấy hay, thấy đẹp vậy sao? Cái người này cảm ơn Phật cách lập cái thể nguyện. When the Buddha does a favor for us, he doesn't want you to give him money or temples or flowers and all this materialistic things. This person I will help to the end of time, all living beings. Hay chỗ là người lập cái nguyện là tới tận vị lai, tới hết cái thời gian trong tương lai vô tận là tôi sẽ giúp tất cả vì Phật là tốt, Phật là tốt. Okay. So what is this reality thing here? This concept here that's not known to the West? Text? It's not a concept that's known to the West.
A lot of people have it without knowing that this is
That's
a
true.
concept.
That is true. Ông này nói đúng. Hiếu, báo hiếu là một cái quan niệm mà không có bên người Âu Châu. Người ta báo hiếu, người ta hiểu cái quan niệm đó.
When I first picked up this sutra 10 years ago or something, I read a chapter, a few pages. I read that concept. I thought it was so interesting because I'd never heard it before. I'd never heard it. I guess we just start. It's easy to do that. Just that one idea.
This is part of the Eastern philosophy, Asian philosophy. It's just the principle behind the class, the kind of action, the kind of attitude, and comportment towards those who are kind to you. Okay. Ông này nói là hồi trước khi mà lần tiên đọc cái kinh Địa Tạng này của ngài Tiến Hóa giảng ra tiếng Anh thì ông nói là của cái quan niệm mà báo hiếu này người Á Đông hay là rất là đặc biệt, thành bắt đầu mới thích ngài Tiến Hóa. Okay. So what is filiality? This Asian concept, which is very ill understood. What about you Asian people? Do you know about filiality? You do. Okay. Người mà Á Đông chắc biết về báo hiếu. Okay. Filiality, in essence, is to serve your parents well. Báo hiếu là gì? Báo hiếu là phục vụ cho cha mẹ. So far, so good. See, the Westerners don't do that. As soon as you old enough, you get away from home and you have your own life, and usually you keep the distance from your parents. The Asians are very close to the parents. No, not you. Okay, so you Westernized. Huh?
Some Westerners do too.
Some do, but they don't understand the concept of filiality. You just say, "I like my parents," that kind of thing. But it's not really in a way of to serve the parents. Cái này là bên người Âu Châu tôi có làm đó, ta vẫn thân cận với cha mẹ họ, nhưng họ không có nói quan niệm là gọi là phục vụ cho cha mẹ. Okay. Here the key word is serve. You serve them well. Okay, yes.
Does that mean agreeing with everything?
We will get there. Don't worry.
Because I'm questioning.
I know it's going to be a
that
controversial thing here, and I'm prepared to camp here on this slide. I know already.
You know what's coming, don't you?
We're going to be here for a while, so we get there, okay? Câu hỏi của như vậy mình phải đồng ý với tất cả họ, cha mẹ nói từ thông thả. Mình sẽ bàn về cái chỗ này đủ thì giờ bàn, đừng có lo. Tôi đã chuẩn bị để mà bàn rồi. Because you know, actually even in the Orientals, the concept of filiality is not that well known either. It isn't. Okay, the parents explain to you differently than the children. Bên Á Châu mình cái quan niệm về báo hiếu nó cũng ít người hiểu. Hỏi cha mẹ thì họ giảng một cách khác, hỏi con cái họ giảng cách khác, họ hiểu cách khác, mọi người hiểu một cách. Okay, so for today we'll try to talk it out so that no stone is unturned. Okay, we hear from both sides. How's that? We have older people as well as younger people, so we discuss both perspectives. Ngày nay có cơ hội đây, có người trẻ, có người lớn tuổi cũng có, thì mình bàn tán cái chuyện báo hiếu này cho nó rõ ràng. Alright, sounds good? Okay. Now, in theory, as far as Asian culture goes, okay, filiality is the number one virtue, is the most important undertaking of any human undertaking. Về cái Á Châu, cái văn hóa Á Châu mình, cái báo hiếu, okay, là cái việc đầu tiên quan trọng nhất phải làm. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now, and when you have a well-meaning mind towards your parents, that is sincerity. Mà khi mình cái tâm mình muốn cái việc tốt cho cha mẹ mình, cái đó là cái thành tâm. So far so good. And according to ancient wisdom, theo như cái huệ của cổ nhân, the filial son or filial daughter takes care of the parents. Cái người mà có hiếu, người con có hiếu là phải lo cho cha mẹ. This person enjoys making them happy. Cái người này là dự kỳ tâm. Có nghĩa là gì? Có nghĩa là thích làm cho cha mẹ mình vui vẻ, sung sướng, hạnh phúc. Okay? This person does not go against the will. Okay? Cái người này bất vi kỳ chí, nghĩa là cái cha mẹ có những cái chí vọng gì thì họ không sẽ đi ngược lại. Are you still with us, Danny? You go against the will that your parents will at all? Sometimes. Okay, so you're not filial yet. Mới hỏi ông này, ông này ông chuyên môn cãi nhất, ông cha. thích cãi với ông mà sợ bà má. And this person makes their sleep and the meals peaceful. Cái người này là làm cho cái giấc ngủ của cha mẹ và những cái món ăn được an lành. So far so good. Any questions? Okay. I open the floor for discussions. Now, that's theory, right? Đây là lý thuyết. Okay. Đây là cổ nhân dạy nhưng mà tôi dạy. Okay. See, this is my fault. First of all, okay. I already repeated what the ancient wisdom is. Okay. Everyone is grinning right now. Okay. Now, tôi chỉ nhắc lặp lại cái lời của cổ nhân thôi, chứ không phải là cái này là lời của tôi. Thành ra, okay. So, what do you say? What do you think? Agree or disagree? Yeah.
Thầy nếu mà qua lời cổ nhân dạy thì con xét thấy các con không có hiếu rồi tự nhiên cha mẹ nuôi mới lớn đi vô chùa ở cái gì không có một việc gì hết.
Okay, so you say according, nói từ từ. So the left home person was the first one to respond. She says that then according this criteria, then I'm not feeling at all because as soon as I grew up, I left my parents and I became a nun. Okay? Còn gì nữa?
Thì nói trong đó là phục vụ cha mẹ thì con không có phục vụ gì hết.
Oh. Okay. So she didn't take care of her parents, therefore she's not filial. What do you think? Yes.
Sometimes when you do take care of your parents, and what do you think will make them happy, or you think that you're doing whatever to make them happy and provide all the meal as well as the sleep, according to your own opinion. And sometimes they're not appreciated by the parents because they might have a different view of it.
Okay. Mình tưởng mình làm cha mẹ vui lòng, lo cho cha mẹ, làm cho họ vui vẻ, nói những lời lọt tai, êm tai, nào lo cho thức ăn, giấc ngủ, nhưng đều chưa chắc họ đồng ý, họ chưa chắc họ sung sướng, chưa chắc họ đồng ý là mình làm họ sung sướng. Yes.
About a month ago, Danny asked you the question about what happens if your parents like smoking or taking, intoxicants, and then you said you're going to address it when you talk about filiality. So I just wanted
Did I really?
Yeah, you said when we get to this chapter. So it just dawned on me that you need to address
it was a sales pitch. And
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yes. Witnesses, see. It just came to me. It's like somebody told me to ask you to remember.
Thanks a lot. I thought I would dance around the issue and people will forget.
But we didn't.
Huh? With somebody. Okay. So what do you think? Yes?
Master?
Yes.
I'd like to say one thing when you leave home and go like the Shuni did, that's a sacrifice and a parent should appreciate that, and she can do so much for them in being a bhikshuni. By being a bhikshuni, than she can out in the world if she wants to do that.
Like what?
Well, she can be praying for them. She can be offering for them all the time while she's a bhikshuni.
Mà nói là khi mình xuất gia, nghe có hiểu không? Hiểu cái phần nữa chứ bộ, quan trọng hiểu. Xuất gia thì mình có thể giúp đỡ cho cha mẹ mình, lo cho cha mẹ mình cách với tư cách người xuất gia. Mà cái cách mình lo nó còn quan trọng, nó còn lợi ích hơn là mình lo trong cái phần thực chất. Okay. Yes. Anyone else?
I'd like to know, is this a from birth to death commitment?
Well, then,
or is there Is there an age limit where where you would step in at a certain age of your parent that to care for them? There are parents that will not allow their children to care for them. They care for their children. You don't care for them. And there's an attitude there that you will not care for your mother or your father. They are totally independent. You are the child. They'll do for you. So that's why the question is there, like when they get to the point where they're no longer capable of caring for themselves, is that when this really kicks in? Or is this a lifetime commitment?
What do you think? No.
I think it's a lifetime commitment. When they don't want you to take care, that doesn't mean that you're gonna stay away. That means you don't have to physically take care of them, but you could also, come and visit or do something that makes them happy is also part of taking care of them.
Thế, nghe vậy hả? Cái này dễ mà. Yes. What else? Yeah.
I think there's a commitment, and it may not be their whole lifetime, but you are committed to your parents to respect them and do for them when they need help. And most modern parents they don't want their children to meddle or do anything until they need it.
Mm-hmm. Is that your personal attitude? Is that what you keep on telling your children?
No, I'm telling what my parents...
They don't listen, do they?
No, but my parents said that. They knew what I heard them say that they expected their children to take care of them when they were capable to take care of themselves, but they didn't want to be bothered until then.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But you see, in the Asian cultures, though, they have this thing called the big family, where the several generations live together under the same roof. So that makes more sense in terms of in these contexts when you take care of your parents, you enjoy making them happy, you know, go with the will, please the eyes and ears and all those things, because it's right there under the same roof. It's not the same situation here.
Western culture is not like that.
But it isn't always the case of the child wants to move out, but they are expected to move out.
They're expected to move out.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So would that fall into that category then of to not going against their will? If they want you to not meddle and to move out, then that's their will, so you will conform to that?
I don't know. What do you think? Is that what you can they hear or what?
The online people cannot hear.
Online people can't hear.
Yes.
Oh, you see, this is why we have microphone. Tell the online people that we should have some better microphone in the future, coming. So promise.
Jack is the only online people.
That's an important online person. So okay. So not go against the will. So they expect you to move out. So you have no choice anyway.
That's right.
Okay. Yes. There's still an outstanding question that people are not reacting to. Is what if your parents want something that's wrong? Let's say they want to go rob a bank, and they say you come help me. What do you do? Bây giờ cha mẹ mình làm bậy, muốn tính làm bậy, cha mẹ muốn đi cướp nhà băng, nó bây giờ con tới giúp tao và đi cướp nhà băng. What do you do? Huh?
Jack said, just say no.
Just say no. Huh? Just say no. Không có đồng ý. Then you go against the will.
But that's not taking care of your parents. If your parents are that far off the stream of life,
if they are that senile or that evil,
absolutely, then you need to take care of your parents. You bet you do. You need to jump in there and rescue them from themselves.
okay? So there's certain priorities here, right?
That's right.
It has to be sensible, it has to be logical, right?
Sure does.
Okay? What else?
I remember according to the ancient text, or maybe not that ancient, but the Chinese text.
Yes.
It says that when you see that parents are not doing the right thing, you're supposed to tell them not to do it in a way that doesn't offend them, and you keep doing it until they stop doing it.
You keep telling them until they stop doing it?
You can even beg them, that's okay.
You can't even what?
Beg.
Beat them up?
Beg.
Beat them up?
Beg them.
Beg.
Beg.
Ah, okay.
What'd you say? Beg?
Yeah. Beg. Nói là ông đọc cái sách tàu, nói là nếu mà cha mẹ làm trật thì mình khuyên lên xong rồi nó đừng có làm nữa, cứ càng nhằn hoài chừng nào đừng làm mới không càng nhằn đâu. Nếu cần thiết là mình quỳ xuống mình năn nỉ nữa. Okay? Didn't you have a question earlier? You have agreed? Do you have to agree with everything?
I agree.
Is the answer? Huh? You agree? Oh, okay. Then we that settles it. Right? So we all understand our filiality.
Yes.
Yes?
Okay, but then we take on the next point of when does a parent stop or respect or they've run our lives for so many years that now me as a mother, I with my daughter and to bring her up in a right and wrong and education, all the things that are necessary in her life, there came a point where there were things that she needed to learn for herself. But I know that there are parents that don't take on that attitude of a child to allow them the freedom to, so to speak, to skin their own knees or to make their own mistakes. So then where do you draw the line with the parent from a child's point of view?
What do you think?
I think the child needs to tell the parents at that point that they need to stop. In a certain way, it's a nicer way, not to insult them. So there's a nice way to go against their will?
Beats me. I don't know what it is. Huh?
I don't think they should be. I don't know. I look at it. It's not that you follow their will, but just some of their wills when they start infringing into the child's life as an adult, the child should be either discussing or explaining somehow. It's not that blindly follow.
Okay. Let me ask you, see, this is very prevalent in the Asian cultures. Okay, let's say that your parent is hooked on opium. Okay, ví dụ như cha mẹ mình là nghiện thuốc phiện. So what do? Let's say your dad say, "Hey, prepare me an opium pipe." Như ông già mình hỏi bây giờ đưa thuốc phiện nó hút. What do?
I'm not the age, right? How old is the parent?
99.
Yeah, 60 going, 99, yes. This is, let's say your parent, 60-year-old man wants a pipe of opium. What do you do?
I'm not fixing it for him.
You're not fixing it. Not even to your own dad, for your own dad.
No, I can't do it.
Why
I know
not?
the answer, so I can't ask. I already read that story.
You could.
I just couldn't, it's not good for you.
Well, you don't know you better answer because it's the part, the untold part. I'm gonna come.
I only read the part that's in the book.
The untold part yet, because I haven't told the rest of the story yet. Yes. So you wouldn't do it.
No, I can't do it.
You wouldn't do it.
You want
Who would do it? Okay. Who would give your father a pipe of opium? You would.
I would, yes, I would.
Oh, excuse me. Why would you give your father a pipe of opium? Why would you do it?
He's addicted.
Hmm? Why would you?
Maybe he can get that if you give him some opium to do it.
You should. Bác đồng ý là phải đưa ông hút thuốc viện.
Thưa không?
Bác không đồng ý.
Nhưng mà có cái điều là con sẽ kiếm một cái người để có sự tâm để cắt nghĩa cho ổng, một cái bác sĩ để cắt cho ổng, hơn là trả lời không thì sợ ổng chết. Bởi vì ổng có lòng tự ái, nếu mình trả lời không con làm gì thì ổng chết. Là mình phải tìm một người để.
So what she does is she would give her father opium and then immediately call her doctor and say, hey, doc, come over because I don't want bad thing to happen to my father.
Yeah, it's one thing. It's not a matter of whether I like it or not.
Okay.
It's not my business to whether I like what they're doing or not.
Okay.
There's an addiction here. There's something. There's a sickness that's going on, an illness that's going on.
Right.
That you don't just take a person that's addicted to opium and just snap them right off of it and say, okay, you can't have that anymore. Or I'm not gonna,
I didn't say that.
house or you don't just. It isn't.
I
Okay.
didn't say
You
that.
can kill them.
Okay.
I didn't say that. I just wouldn't give it to him. You might say he can have it, yeah, but I'm not fixing it and giving it to him.
Uh-huh.
Okay? There's a difference there.
So what you're doing is you're not taking care of your father. You don't try making him happy. You're going against
I
the
can't
will.
make him
You are
happy.
not pleasing the ears and the eyes. And you sure are not helping with the sleep and the meals.
But there is more than just making a pipe for him. There's also, like she said, there's giving him help, calling your doctor, or getting him into some kind of rehab or something to offer him some kind of assistance. Because again, there's an illness we're talking about here.
So you would give it.
Pleasure trove we're going through. This is
I know that.
a real illness.
It's an addiction, I understand.
Absolutely.
I understand it, but I'm not
There's a whole different attitude toward what you would do and what you wouldn't.
Okay.
It's
Anyone
not like
else?
cheesecake. No, it's not.
Anyone else? Ai có nói gì nữa không? Nghe hiểu gì hả?
I think I agree with her opinion because sometimes the parents have to listen to the children, and the better way we need the psychologist for help.
Get professional help.
Yeah.
Okay.
In some case like not serious, like some parents they want children have to become the lawyer or doctor, but the children in case they want to be nun or monk.
Yeah.
So
What's wrong with that?
how do we deal with this problem?
I agree. Yeah.
Isn't Mahayana considered the greatest good is when you're repaying your parents' kindness by leaving the home?
Where did you hear that?
That was a question that Master Shumwa asked, why did the two left home disciples do the 3 steps, 1 bow?
Yeah.
And Master Shu Yin did that too. It was when he did 3 steps, 1 bow in China. It was to repay his mother's kindness.
Yeah. Okay. sometimes you have to use use your judgment in trying to be filial, right?
Yeah, you have common sense.
It's common sense, yes, and it has to make sense to both sides, right? It's not, these are not cast in stone, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
But there is no hope for that parent if you alienate yourself from them by totally, I'm not doing it, I'm not getting involved.
Okay.
You're not, you're just alienated. You cut yourself off from them where there's no hope for any recovery for them.
Okay. Okay. Very good. But then why so many things? Why did the ancients give us so many these long laundry list of things to do, and sometimes they're contradictory, sometimes it's just not practical. Why is it? What's so wise about it? Yes? See, everyone's quiet.
Isn't that to repay for the time to take care of you?
No. But does it mean that you have to give them a pipe of opium when they ask for it? Or does it mean you have to go and let's say they want to eat fresh chicken, so they say go to the neighbor's house, grab the chicken, and bring it back here and cook it for me. So how do you resolve the conflict here about these various things?
This gentleman was talking about parents expecting their children to go to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. Some children, because they're filial, they'll go to school, become a doctor, and then after that they said, okay, I did what you asked me. I'm going back to school and go to school and learn what I want to do. We've seen that.
Okay. Yeah, it happens quite often. Sure.
But how do we deal with when we meet us problem? How do we deal between the children and parents? How do they
resolve the conflict of interest?
Yeah.
How do you deal with it? You parents, I never had children, so I wouldn't know. Yes.
You look for an expedient.
Yes, like what?
Like going back to what Linda's saying about preparing the opium pipe. That could be an expedient for a temporary period of time to get them over that acute crisis, and then work it into a way to rehab them or do something else.
You're getting closer to what it's at.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
I'll ask Master for help. And then maybe from what Master used to say that there are something that is beyond us, maybe looking for power that we don't have, like medicine, Buddha, and hope, and have faith and those powers to help.
Okay, then let me ask. Yes.
Well, I was going to say to the very first one that we serve our parents well. Serving our parents well doesn't mean just giving in to every whim or every idea that they may have, good or bad.
Right.
But there are
everyone agrees with that, right? I mean, it's common sense here. You can't help them hurt themselves. Okay. You should not help them hurt themselves. Right. All right. So, I think I'm going to quote Randy here. So, what's your story about the opium pipe? What did you read about that?
I read that the father asked his son to get opium, and he did that. And he was so filial that when he prepared the pipe, the father smoked it and fell asleep. And then when he woke, he found his son was still standing at his bedside, waiting for his next command. And the father felt so deep remorse, seeing that his son was so filial that it turned him around. That basically he quit smoking opium from that point.
No, it's not quite like that. How do you remember it?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, this is kind of obscure thing because this is one of those myths about filiality in the Chinese culture as well. This refers to filial son wife. Am I correct? And ông Thiên Hóa, this is what Master Thiên Hóa told the story of of a very known person in his time. Thời Ngài Thiên Hóa có người đó rất nổi tiếng, rất có hiếu. Nổi tiếng ở độ ta gọi ông là hiếu tử vương. Ông họ vương, ông gọi là hiếu tử vương. Okay, this is called filial son Wang because he's that famous. He's known throughout the area as the most filial person, example, paragon of filiality. Okay, and this person, he is so filial to his parents that when he was younger, he took care of his parents, enjoy making them happy, not go against their will, please their ears and their eyes, make their sleep and meal peaceful. Okay, có hiếu đến độ mà làm hết tất cả là lạc dự kỳ tâm, bất vi kỳ ký, lạc dị một ga kỳ tập tần, đủ thứ hết, mấy cái nào cũng làm hết, lúc trẻ nó làm như vậy. Hiếu, bởi vì ông ấy nổi tiếng là có hiếu. That's why he was so famous to be such a filial son. Okay, and his father happened to be addicted in opium, which is a common thing back then. Cái thời xưa bên Tàu, mấy người ta nghiện thuốc phiện nhiều lắm. Okay, so his father would ask him to give him a pipe, prepare the pipe of opium. That's what you do when your husband asks you for a pipe of opium. That's what you do. You prepare the pipe of opium, give it to the husband or your father. Okay, hồi xưa thì như vậy. Người chồng hỏi người vợ là vợ phải sửa soạn cái điếu thuốc phiện, đưa người chồng phải đưa người cha, đưa người mẹ. Okay, so he was known to do that. He would never go against his father's will, and he would give the opium pipe and stand there and wait for him, and then he would finish smoking. Okay, and then he would wake up and he'd pass out with the opium. He'd pass from opium. And then he wakes up and he sees his son still there waiting to give him next pipe of opium, prepare next pipe of opium. Không có hiếu đến độ mà người cha mà hút thuốc phiện xong rồi hút đến xỉu ngất luôn, ngủ luôn, cái xong rồi mở mắt ra thấy người con vẫn đứng bên cạnh giường, đỡ đợi để người cha, để đưa người cha một cái thuốc phiện, cái điếu thuốc phiện cái gì, một phiện khác. Nghi that feel you. Okay, this is it, folks. This is the paragon filiality. Okay, even though it's a good harm that his father's, that his filial son Wang would not go against his father's will. Okay, what do you think? And I give you a tip right now. Okay, tôi hỏi những cái vị nói để hỏi ý kiến quý vị. Tại vì cái người này á, sau này xuất gia và thành một người thầy tu và thành người thầy của ông Tuyên Hóa. Đây là sư phụ của Tuyên Hóa. Ông Tuyên Hóa dễ sợ lắm. Ông Tuyên Hóa là khi ông xuất gia, ông chọn cái người này làm người thầy. Okay, I'm giving you a clue right now. This filial son Wang later on left the home life, became a monk, and then took Master Shen Hua as a disciple. Master Shen Hua bowed to him as his shifu. Okay, so what do you think? You agree or not? He still doesn't agree. Yes. That's.
You're talking about just the opium, but when we were talking about your parents tell you to go eat a chicken, steal a chicken, then that's a different action.
No, that's not a void issue here. I'm talking about opium now. Okay. Even though this person knows that he's giving opium, he's killing his father, he would still give him a pipe of opium. You agree with that? Have you changed your position now? Have you guys changed your position?
I think it's a mindset.
What mindset?
Because his intention is not killing his father. It's the being filial.
Excellent. See, he stole his son. Is it the same thing? Huh? Yes, what did you want to say?
That's all.
Huh? He understands the essence of the principle. It's the intent to do all these things. Là mình cố ý, cái pháp này là pháp mình, cái tâm mình muốn làm những cái việc này. You got that? It does not say you have to do it right away, there's a time limit or so on. Nó không bắt buộc mình phải làm ngay lập tức đâu, bắt buộc mình phải làm đúng trong thời gian đó. See? So actually these are not contradictory. These are do not necessarily are in contradiction. Why does it say you have to take care of your parents and then not go against the will at the same time? It doesn't say so. Right? That's how I read it. It says these are guidelines and this is the intent behind it is you don't do it. This is what filiality is about. The mind of filiality is this kind of mind. Right? So far so good? Still my question to you is, do you agree with filial somewhere? Would you give your parents, your father a pipe of opium? And those who would not give those pipes of opium, and those who give the pipe of opium, have you changed your position? Có ai đổi ý chưa? No? You're not budging. Yes.
Master,
Have you changed your mind?
in some ways I have, because what I want to say is I took care of my mother. I didn't take care of my father because I wasn't privileged to know about when he was ill. And when I took care of my mother, she did things that I was not happy about until her death.
Mm-hmm.
And I did whatever she wanted with that until she died, but it bothered me, but I did it.
Mm-hmm.
That was against what I would ordinarily do myself. So you have to be in the situation to know what you're going to do and how you're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did give her filial piety until she died.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? So we understand now? We all agree on filiality now? Or what?
I agree.
Hmm? Yeah.
Is this another one of those things where how you treat your parents will be a good indication of how you treat others other than a parent? Your giving and your goodness and your generosity and that type of thing that if you I mean, I don't see a difficulty in doing it for your parents, but if that same generosity and that same intent is given with your parents, that you have a nature of giving to others that way also. Is that kind of...
Let's backtrack a little bit. Okay. Don't you wonder why you have to be filial? Có ai mà thắc mắc của mình phải tại sao mình báo hiếu? Why you have to be filial? Why?
They brought you to this world.
It comes from the Tao. That's what the ancients said. Can I even measure up?
What if I don't go to it? What do I care about the Tao?
But it's an
But
expression of
the
gratitude.
Tao is there no matter what we cultivate. It's not like cause and effect, whether you believe in it or not. It's always there. It's not a function of whether we believe. It's a function of what it is.
They brought you into this world.
That's what the ancients said.
So what?
If you don't.
In our culture, you brought me into the world, and you have to feed me, you have to raise me until I'm able to take care of myself, right?
There's a karmic debt.
That's our culture.
Yeah, but that's a karmic debt too. Because you see parents care for some children and other parents don't care for others, so there's a karmic debt involved.
That's true.
Yeah, this is kind of hard to justify because basically it's an act of kindness. What's referring to is the fact, according to the Asian philosophy, is that your parents gave you this life. It's the first act of kindness in your human life, in this life. Okay? Without the act of kindness, you cannot possibly have whatever you have right now, the rest of your life. Then does it make sense to feel you or not?
Certainly.
Yes, question.
What if they disown you and don't want to see you? You just stay as far away as possible. Is that the reality?
Well, even though you're not taking care of them yet, but you make them happy, you stay away. What do you think? Yes.
How about children that was being, is being abused, or children that is being left on somebody's door, their parents, or they was conceived that the parent don't want them and he was out asking. I mean, what happened then for those? How do the child be filial to the parent in that way?
Okay, even let's backtrack a little bit. Let's say your parents. I gave this example already to some of you. Let's say your parents are drug addicts, and your mother conceived you, and then she gave birth to you and then dropped you and threw you away. Is that the kind of thing? Okay, so they really don't care for you. They never intended to give life to you anyway. Okay, they give birth to you and then they just throw you away and maybe left you at somebody's doorstep or somewhere.
I know people like that. I know people who have had parents like that.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're so lost. They're so longing for that ability to do this because they'll never have the opportunity.
Okay.
It's
Really?
in red.
Really?
It's in, yeah.
Even though the parents deserted them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Once they go through the resentment thing and all that, yeah, they've got that. It's there. It's there is something
Does it make sense though?
that is and always
Does it
will be
make sense?
connected to your parent. Always.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure it makes sense.
Does it?
But there's an answer.
Why is
to
that? I don't understand.
I don't know what it is. But the answer to that is people in that situation, they should get married and have children. They should shower all the love on their children that they think that they miss in their parents. And somehow that satisfies the desire for the parental love. Because they produce it themselves. And that's the answer.
Okay.
It's deep-seated, Master. I personally know people like that, and it is deep-seated.
Yeah.
There's a, why did she leave me? Why did she, why couldn't she have taken care of me? All that. There's all those things that, yes, they go on in their lives with that too. But deep down inside.
Do you agree, Jimmy, or not? Does it help or not?
I guess in a way that, when the children become the parents, they will see what that means and the longing for somebody ever caring for them, a mother or father, and they will display that affection back to their children and say it will never happen to their own children. I mean,
This is the beauty of the filiality concept. Cái này là cái chỗ thâm thúy nhất về cái ý nghĩa của cái báo hiếu. Okay, it's not about giving birth. To me, it's not about giving birth. Đối với tôi cái này không phải là cái quan trọng là báo hiếu, cái pháp báo hiếu không phải là vì cho sinh cái tính mạng của mình. Okay? The concept behind it is that you repay kindness. Người ta làm ơn cho mình trả cái ơn. That's the depth of the filiality concept in Asia, which the Westerners don't have. You care for your parents because you love them, you like them, you want to take care of them, but it's not based on the fact that you repay kindness. That's Asian, not Western. You can see that, Jimmy? So even though the parents may have thrown the child away, the baby away, but that single act of kindness still deserves filiality. That's the Asian concept. Questions, comments? Then so you all agree that now we talked so far at this point here, you all agree then if with filial sangwang that if the father wants a pipe of opium, you would give your father a pipe of opium. Yes or no? No? You wouldn't? You would go against the paragon of filiality here?
Yeah, probably.
You would go against it. How about you? How about the rest of you? Randy's opinion, he doesn't change his mind once he makes it up. So. Yes, anyone else? Yes.
I would go against it.
You go against it too? Well, you are the same kind.
I tried before.
Huh?
And then I get beat up. Well, not
quite, not any, but you feel like you would.
yeah, like by the circumstances, not physically by parents, but just something happened to me. I feel like I was doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I have to agree with that. Actually, I have to agree that you really have to use along the line what Randy meant or talked about earlier. You know, filiality is not a rigid thing. You have to use expedience. You have to use your wisdom. You have to use your wisdom if your intent is to take care of your parents and to repay the kindness. Then you can go through all this laundry list, but use expedience to do it the best way you can. That is called wisdom. Okay? I cannot speak of filial Sun Wang. I wasn't there on why he gave his father a pipe of opium. He has his reasons, I'm sure. Okay? And for a person or for that kind of virtue and wisdom and attainment, okay? I would bet against that. You know, you have to look at that and investigate it and try to understand why and talk to that person to find out why.
And you have to walk in the shoes.
So he has his
You have to
wisdom.
have the experience to know what you would do.
Right.
Without the experience, you can guess all day long.
Right, you have to be there. You have to be
That's right.
there.
That's right.
Okay, so it varies. That's filiality. It's wide open. It's always one way. Okay? Sometimes you can take care of your parents by not taking care of them. Right? Sometimes you go against the will actually but you are not. Right? Sometimes they force you to become a doctor and a lawyer. And what if you are not cut out to be a doctor and lawyer? So you allow them to make you miserable and you come back and make them miserable? Right? Then it doesn't make sense. If they really, the intent is to make you miserable, okay, then it makes sense for you to then go and become a doctor and lawyer against your own will, against your own inclinations. But deep down, if they're telling you that you should become a doctor or an engineer or a nurse because out of love for you, because they think it's best for you, when you disagree, then it doesn't mean you have to obey them. Does it help?
Yes.
Depends. If they really want to hurt you, it may make sense for you then to get hurt. You have to ask them. You have to decide for yourself what is it they want. They really want.
Well, most of the time, they really is out of love. They want to have a
Right.
good career, good life, with enough money.
Sometimes they're confused. Sometimes they don't know better, so they ask you to do stupid things. Right? Doesn't mean you have to go and enjoy to make them happy. It's being stupid. Okay? But another point here I want you to be aware of is the list is important because do not use this as an excuse. Use your logic and your upbringing, your education and your wisdom as an excuse to go against this list. At least do it for a while and see what happens. You have to give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't be so full of yourself. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay? Now, the other part of it is that finally, according to the Brahmana Sutra, the Kinh Pháp Vọng, they say filial is the basis of the ultimate way. Chí đạo chi bổ, là có nghĩa là tu là phải tu cái hiếu. Không có tu hiếu thì không thể nào thành công. You cannot succeed in cultivation if you are inferior. If any iota left in your system is inferior, you will not succeed in cultivation. What I'm talking about is not what you decide, what is inferior, or whatever someone else decides. Whatever is truly filial, okay, truly inferior, whichever part you have left, you have to keep on working on it until it goes away. Cái hiếu nó quan trọng, không phải là vì sư cô quyết định hay vì tôi quyết định, okay, mà theo đúng cái nghĩa, cái nghĩa, lý nghĩa của cái hiếu. Nếu mà còn một phần là bất hiếu trong người, tôi cũng làm thôi. Okay? Questions, comments? Yeah.
Con nghĩ người xuất gia vậy là con bị tu hiếu, việc tu cái đạo hiếu là đúng.
So she asked again, she has to bring it back to that from people. I'm trying to avoid it. See, I didn't even comment. You ép tôi vậy được. Okay, so she asked, so as a left-home person, how do I practice filiality? Okay. In terms of practicing filiality, living a home life is the best. There's nothing else better than that. Báo hiếu, cảm động là nhất. Không có gì hơn. Không có gì hơn. Mình ngon It's truly the most filial act possible. Is to become a left-home person. Then you pay your filial duties. Yes.
Xin hỏi nếu khi cha mẹ còn sống thì cô cạo đầu thì trả hiếu, khi cha mẹ chết rồi, ngày chết đó không có cạo đầu như là không có hiếu phải không?
Cô trả lời đi.
Tại vì cha mẹ con qua đời rồi con không có cạo đầu con.
Okay.
Share with his master, please.
What?
Bạch thầy, Đức Hoàng hậu Maya đã chết rồi. Đó, về Phật trần, chết rồi. Thì lúc đó Phật có 7 tuổi. Vậy sau này Phật đi tu, Phật có hiếu hay không? Con sẽ trả lời cái câu của các bạn. Và hơn nữa, hồi ra hôm ra đi tu, thì lúc đó bà Gia Du Đà La không muốn mà. Vậy thì theo cha, trái lại cái ý của ông nội và mẹ, có hiếu hay không? Xin thầy giải thích cho con hỏi. Đó là Phật dạy.
It gets more difficult.
Every moment.
Huh?
Every moment gets more difficult.
Yeah. Sao? Ngọc nghĩ sao? Bác trả lời vừa ý đồng ý không?
Mấy con nói nó sao, cái nó nghe nó hiểu đó, nó không biết tiếng gì.
Nói.
Nói sâu sâu.
Nói cứ nói để gì tôi hiểu hơn một tí nữa. Sao? Cô cứ nói đi.
Từ bác Ngọc nói là khi cha mẹ chết không có cạo đầu, tụi thầy nói là cạo đầu là trả hiếu là số 1 nhất. Nên Ngọc nói là hồi cha mẹ chết con không có cạo đầu được, vậy là con không có hiếu. Thì theo con nghĩ là tại vì cái hỏi của con á là cái nghĩ khác. Ngọc nó lại nghe cái cách hỏi của con nó là áp dụng lên Ngọc thì không phải là mọi người thì phải cạo đầu mới trả hiếu. Ra hiểu rồi đó, nó hiểu rồi. Ý con này con nói nhiêu đó là nó hiểu rồi. Thì chừng sau nó hỏi chuyện.
Rồi bây giờ trả lời bác làm sao bây giờ? Bác Diệu Tiến, phải bác Diệu Tiến hả? Làm sao? Bây giờ trả lời bác làm sao? Bác mới hỏi, bác hỏi hóc búa dễ sợ.
Thầy con lấy con trong nói Phật pháp của con không nói lấy con.
Không, bây giờ nó chơi sao?
Theo con nghĩ thì không
tại này mình trong cái nghề mình phải hiểu cái này chứ.
Tại vì con nghĩ là không phải con xuất gia và đi tu rồi thì con ca ngợi cái nghề xuất gia, nhưng mà điều cái đó là Đức Phật trong kinh, cái này không có trong kinh. Đức Phật có dạy là kêu là cái hiếu đạo, tức là cái hiếu về một tinh thần giúp cho cha mẹ. Thì bà Maya, hoàng hậu Maya bà đã mất rồi, nhưng mà sau đó Đức Phật tu, ngài đã chứng được chánh đẳng chánh giác rồi, ngài về cõi trời đau lợi 3 tháng thuyết pháp cho Maya hoàng hậu nghe. Đó là báo hiếu của Đức Thích Ca Mâu Ni. Rồi sau đó Gia Du Đà La, La Hầu La đi xuất gia tức là 7 tuổi, và ông nội tức là Du Tịnh Phạn không đồng ý với công chúa Gia Du Đà La cũng không đồng ý, nhưng mà La Hầu La là báo hiếu rất là lớn. Tại vì đáp cái câu của thầy là cạo đầu là báo hiếu lớn nhất, thì La Hầu La mới 7 tuổi đã báo hiếu cho mẹ là Gia Du Đà La, nó không có trái lời của Đức Phật dạy.
So there's an exchange here in Vietnamese. It says that the young lady in the back says, when my parents passed away, I did not shave my head. Therefore, I could not perform the most filial act filial act. So therefore, am I filial? And the Bhikshuni here kindly answered that you don't have to always leave the home life to be filial. Okay, and then the lady here then mentioned, what about the case of the Buddha? He shaved his head after his birth mother passed away. Okay, and then he left home life to cultivate, and then later on his own son also joined him as a monk against the will of his own mother, meaning the Buddha's ex-wife, and the Buddha's father as well, because they were against it, having a son leave the home life. Okay, so, but actually, the Bhikshuni explained that it is the most filial thing because it's leaving the home life is a filial thing, because when the Buddha, after the Buddha accomplished Buddhahood, he went up to the heavens to explain and preach Dharma to his mother, his deceased mother. Okay, and the Buddha's son is also leaving the home life is also a filial thing, because tại sao vậy? Hôm nay cô nói mà tôi quên rồi.
Tức là sau khi Đức Phật
con Phật La Hầu La
là mới 7 tuổi là đi theo Phật xuất gia, thì cái này là nó áp dụng qua là thầy nói là cạo đầu là trả hiếu lớn nhất, cho nên La Hầu La là không phải là không có hiếu với bà Gia Du Đà La, nhưng mà là trả hiếu lúc còn mới 7 tuổi đi theo Phật để xuất gia họ khóc.
Giờ đi ngược lại, ngược cái ý của ông nội với là ngược cái ý người mẹ thì sao? Hiếu thế nào?
Nếu mà đứng về mặt thế gian á, thì khi mà Đức Phật xuất gia, Tịnh Thanh Dương cũng đâu đồng ý. Thành ra là khi ngài đã chứng được đạo quả rồi, ngài đã cái hiếu, thì con nghĩ là La Hầu La nhận xét được. Con nghĩ là cái này là kêu là có một cái quá khứ, chứ còn hiện tại mới 7 tuổi tưởng hiểu, nhưng mà tu để chứng đạo thì mới trả hiếu là hoàn hảo nhất. Còn nếu đứng về mặt thế gian á, thì ông nội sẽ buồn, mẹ cũng buồn, nhưng mà buồn đó là mặt thế gian. Mà nếu mình muốn cho vui về mặt thế gian thì mình sẽ bị cái dòng đời nó cuốn. Thì không thể hiểu được anh.
She understands. She understands a lot more than she comes across. Okay. Leaving the home life is the utmost form of filial piety. Why is that? Because leaving the home life gives you the chances to accomplish your cultivation the quickest. The objective of utmost filiality is to accomplish the way. It's not shaving the head. Okay? Because if you shave your head just to be filial to your parents, you're wrong. Mình xuất gia, mình cạo đầu để mình có cái cơ hội mình thành đạo sớm hơn. Vì vậy mới gọi là xuất gia là trả hiếu đệ nhất. Tại cái cơ hội thành đạo là cái cách trả hiếu. Cô sư cô hiểu đó, trả hiếu quan trọng nhất là mình thành đạo, không phải mình xuất gia. Cái Phật pháp nó đâu có nông cạn như vậy. Mahayana is not that shallow, folks. When they encourage people to lead the home life, not for the sake of shaving your head or becoming a monk or adopting a new hairstyle. Okay? It's the optimal chance to accomplish the way. The best way to accomplish it is to shave your head. Okay? Because so the inherent message behind that is that you shave your head and you give it your all to accomplish the way. That's the best way to be filial to your parents. And as she explained, you accomplish the way, and then she go back and you save your parents. That is filiality, isn't it? Nghe hiểu không?
Thầy, cái chỗ này họ cũng thông cảm với người đời. Cái chỗ theo con hiểu thì nếu con một chỗ này phải làm khi nào các chị dạy thì Phật có ra cái luật là khi nào mình còn nhỏ muốn xuất gia thì phải có sự đồng ý của cha mẹ và phải hỏi cha mẹ đồng ý rồi thì mình xuất gia. Như vậy là Phật có mở một cái cửa sổ cho cái người con và cũng cho cha mẹ. Vì sao? Vì như vậy sau khi mà con xuất gia cha mẹ đồng ý rồi thì hiện thời thì buồn, nhưng mà trong tương lai con sẽ độ còn hơn là con còn sống độ để là trả hiếu cho cha mẹ, và độ cha mẹ và độ cả ông bà nữa.
Nếu mình thành công
như vậy cho nên Phật có mở cái cửa sổ cho chúng sanh, chứ không phải bắt buộc là như vậy, để xuất gia là tốt nhất. Cho con hưởng cái chỗ đúng phải.
So what happened is that if you understand, you agree with me that the ultimate act of filiality is because it gives you the best chance to succeed in cultivation. It doesn't say that you must all leave the home life to be filial. If you stay home, you don't leave the home life, okay, and you go for enlightenment, you go for accomplishing the way, then you're just as filial. In my eyes. Okay. Nếu như quý vị không xuất gia ở nhà, mới tâm pháp tâm tu, đó cũng là trải hiếu, đó cũng không khác gì người cạo đầu ấy, đối với tôi.
Và thầy cái chỗ này cũng có Hòa thượng trước khi xuất gia thì Hòa thượng cũng chờ cha mẹ khuất bóng rồi trả hiếu bằng ở cái mộ của mẹ 3 năm thì xong rồi mới xuất gia, thì đó Hòa thượng cũng thông cảm như chúng sanh vậy, và đó Hòa thượng đã làm vậy rồi,
cũng đang trả hiếu, cũng đang không khác gì xuất gia. Nếu mình khi một cái tâm hòa thượng như vậy, hòa tâm nói bây giờ thay vì xuất gia bây giờ tôi đợi 2 năm, tôi đợi vài năm nữa khi mà cha mẹ tôi sẽ thuận tiện hơn lên xuất gia, thì ông đang sống cuộc đời người xuất gia rồi.
Vậy thầy thầy cũng có cầu đầu, con thấy thầy nói cầu đầu.
Câu gì?
You have to shave your head. So he didn't shave his head when he's beside the tomb of his mother.
Không, nhưng cái đó là một cái phương tiện thôi, còn nếu như mình yeah. Yeah.
You said that some people can actually find their way by practicing what they're doing. Suppose we're talking about a case of a physician who's really good. Would he be more useful to live in this life and help out, save other people's life, than just go shave his head and cultivate?
And become a parasite of society?
No, I didn't say that.
Don't say that. Yeah. Good. Yes.
Master, is it in some way related to the sutra of the filial piety when Shakyamuni Buddha was explaining to all the Bodhisattva and all the people that were on one of the assembly, saying that no matter what we do, no matter how many lives or that we born into this, we will never pay the kindness that our parents have given to us.
Yeah.
Until we really like you say, we cultivate and we come back and save them from the cycle of life, the wheel.
You have to realize this. If the people who shape what I just explained to you is very clear. The people who shave the head for the sake of shaving the head are not being filial. You shave your head because you can't do anything else. Now you're not being filial. Yeah, there's a lot more involved in it. Okay? It's about cultivation. It's about accomplishing the way, giving your best to accomplish the way. Okay? Questions, comments?
You didn't answer my question.
Huh?
You didn't answer my question.
What do you think? What do you guys think? I don't have all the answers.
You have good answers, Master.
Yeah.
I heard if the person accomplishes the way, their 9 generations of past ancestors will go to heaven. That's not bad.
I do have a question on that. So what if you
Enters the way, not accomplish the way. Enters the way.
enters?
Enters the way, not accomplish the way. Be careful. The Chinese is very precise. có cái bên người Tàu nó có cái câu đó là một tử nhập đạo,
So you define Enche the way as
9 đời tổ tiên tăng thiên.
would you define Enche the way as the level of Arhat and accomplishing the way would be irreversible Bodhisattva?
We don't know. Is that how you read it?
I don't know, I'm asking you. I don't know.
That's not how I read it. I read it as
Entering the way is just
is that important? You know, the 9 generations are nice, but it's only a one-time deal. It's pretty small compared to the entire picture.
that's what the other lady was saying, that if you would be better to stay a doctor treating the ill today, or shave your head and become a left-known person. Which is, she said, it's better to treat the ill right now. You're right, it's only a limited time, one lifetime, that's it.
Right. Does that answer your question?
Then are you saying that the doctor is not being filial at all? No.
I like to think not. No.
There's a question that goes back to the story of Dharma Master Hong Sure. Before he became a left-known person, he was going to go to pre-med at UC Berkeley. And then Master Shunhua says, I don't think that's a good idea. And he says, how come? He says, you know, even the doctors, when they die, they need a Dharma doctor. So why don't you shake your head and become a left-known person? And he thought about it. He says, yeah, I think I'll become a Dharma doctor instead of a medical doctor. So even when the doctors die, they need help too.
The essence what he's saying is that the left-known people, they do have a certain value to society, and quite often they are the contribution to society much more than doctors. It's kind of biased perspective, but that's what we believe. Nó nói là người xuất gia cái có công trình với xã hội lớn nhiều lớn hơn cái công trình người bác sĩ. Yes.
I agree with that.
You agree with that?
Yes, I do.
And along the lines of, because like in terms of if the value, society value, places value on a doctor is because his ability to provide medical help. Okay. I can assure you, you cultivate, you can provide a lot more than that. A lot more. It just is not measured in terms of dollars. But in terms of case per case, help people, being able to help the medical cases, and even things that medical doctors cannot help. Therefore, people can do a lot more. If they both
Younger doctors and all that, it doesn't count.
What?
Even like being a good doctor and you're teaching other doctors, preparing for the next generation, it's not good.
Yes, of course, but then and also the monks also teach the monks of the next generation. You also teach as well. Not as many, but many people.
You can keep doing that forever, but you're not going to get the same from that as you are.
Of course, I see that point. But then if everybody just go and cultivate, then there's nobody else here to help. People will slide.
People will not get sick. If everybody cultivate, no sickness.
No people either.
And no war too.
You don't know that.
Look at cultures like Tibet, where half the people are left home. If you think about it.
And no population.
When they're doing too well, are they? Bad example.
You know, where Thailand, I think most of the men spend at least 2 years in the monastery before they go to lay life.
No, it's different strokes of different folks. If you people have different purposes. See, you can't compare them. You can't compare apples and oranges. They all are useful. That's the bottom line.
Amen. Amen.
Right? I mean, it's not for everyone. Being a doctor is not for everyone. Some people prefer to be an engineer, or some people prefer to be a programmer or something else. And they're just as important.
No, what I'm saying is just a specific doctor is really good. That would he be filial if he just go ahead and just forget about his career and
Absolutely.
then he's being unfilial if he just chose the other way.
No, he's not either. He's more filial when she shaves his head. Doesn't mean not shaving his head is not being filial. Gradations. Does that answer your question? Yes.
We're saying that Nepal people are more filial. Is it because they have more chance to maybe bring their parents out of the life cycle of the life wheel, so they can become Bodhi themselves in cultivation, so they don't have to come back suffer in the next life?
Okay, we going now to next level. That is, okay. So far, filiality here is about taking care of your physical and mental well-being. Nhưng bây giờ mình nói thôi là cái đạo hiếu này là chỉ trả hiếu bằng cách là mình giúp cha mẹ mình về phương tiện vật chất, về tinh thần thôi, về tâm lý thôi. But there's also cái phần khác là phần tinh thần, phần linh thiêng. Ai giúp họ bây giờ? There's also the spiritual side to filiality. Okay? And the other side of the flip side of filiality, from what you said, is that spiritually speaking, when you leave home life, you cultivate, you're doing a much better job on this laundry list, on a spiritual level for your parents. Much better. You buy that.
Yes.
Về cái phương diện mà linh thiêng ấy, thì khi mình xuất gia thì mình trả hiếu về cha mẹ, về linh thiêng á, về những cái chuyện này á, mình báo hiếu nó hữu hiệu hơn nhiều. Okay? Because you have the wisdom. You know, you're working, instead of pursuing material thing and things for outflow, you're pursuing transcendental wisdom. You're pursuing a way to put an end to ignorance and suffering, including your parents' suffering. Okay? You may take care of your parents' your parents' material needs and psychological needs, but you are not able to take care of their spiritual needs, are you? Okay?
What about if your purpose in life is not to be a left-home person?
Okay. Then you do the best you can. It's not an option for you. Okay. Or let's say that your parents need financial support. How can you possibly shave your head and then lead a home life and ignore them? You can't. What's so filial about it? It's not. It's nonsense. Right? So it's always you need to have the balance. Any other questions?
Is it possible for the laity to cultivate and bring a spiritual It sounded like only a left-arm person could do
No.
Okay.
Just from the aspect of there's something. You see, people are caught on this concept of feeling reality only in the materialistic side.
I see.
And they're confused because there's also the spiritual plane where you cannot think of this as only a one-time deal. There's many more lifetimes. Your time horizon is way too short. Nghe hiểu không? Mình có phương diện linh thiêng chứ. Tại vì nếu mình nhìn chỉ về cái vật chất không thì mới có một cái cuộc đời thôi, chứ còn biết bao nhiêu cuộc đời nữa, cuộc đời trước, cuộc đời sau nữa, trong tương lai nữa. And this is why the spiritual side is very important. You cannot be that short-sighted. Bởi linh thiêng nó quan trọng, nếu không mình nhìn cái quan điểm nó quá nông cạn, nó quá thiển cận. Mình không chú tâm tới quá khứ, mình không biết gì về trong tương lai nữa. Như vậy là lầm lẫn, đại lầm lẫn. Okay. Shall we move on, or you have any other questions? You can come back to this in the future, you like. So my message to you is that you cannot singularly focus on material things to repay your parents' kindness. If you're like that, you're way too short-sighted. Way too short-sighted. Okay? If you don't know about Mahayana, I don't blame you. Now you know about Mahayana, you know you need to understand, you have a broader perspective. Không biết tu thì không nói gì, không biết tu rồi biết thấy cái phương pháp tu rồi, không thể nào tiến cận như vậy. Okay? For a reason. Okay? Let's talk about blessings and offenses. It's a part of cultivation. Tu hành là có cái phước và có cái nghiệp, tạo cái nghiệp. What happens is that when you cultivate blessings can extinguish offenses. Okay? Tu phước thì có thể diệt trừ được những cái tội. Okay? Typically, common people create offenses. We are on slide 296, by the way, chat. Common people create offenses which are without flow by nature. Người thường người ta tạo những cái hữu lậu tội. Okay. And the outflows. What's the problem with outflows? Outflows will put us in the cycle of birth and death. Cái lậu là gì? Cái lậu mình muốn né, mình tu thì mình trừ cái lậu, tại vì nếu còn cái lậu nó làm mình lọt vào cái vòng sinh tử, quay cuồng không qua những người hết. Okay? And common people, ordinary people usually create blessings with outflows. And the blessings and outflows cannot possibly eradicate offenses. Okay. Thì những cái loài người thường ta tạo cái loài hữu lậu phước, cái phước mà có hữu lậu. Okay. Thì những cái loại phước đó không có diệt trừ được những cái nghiệp, những cái tội. Okay. Chỉ có những cái loại phước mà không có ngoài vô lậu phước thì mới có thể trừ được mấy cái tội thôi. And that's why vì vậy cái quan trọng của tạo những cái phước vô lậu như vậy. This is the importance of creating blessings without outflows, because they can really help eradicate offenses. Yes, questions?
Can you define like example of no outflow and versus with outflows, and what kind of blessings?
Outflows định nghĩa hữu lậu với vô lậu. Hữu lậu là gì? What do you think? What's outflow?
The six senses organ, like seeing stuff.
Thủy lậu là gì?
Breaking the precepts, killing, lying.
Thủy lậu là gì thưa cô?
Cũng là những cái phước hiện hữu mình để thấy như là người đó giàu có, sang trọng, đẹp đẽ, thông minh, đó là cái phước mình thấy được.
Ok. Còn vô lậu là gì?
Cái đó còn cũng để hỏi.
Tôi hỏi trước rồi tôi hỏi cô. Hỏi tôi hồi ai bây giờ? So she says outflows. Okay, outflows is the nature of blessings that is created with itself, from itself. When you create blessings that originates from a self, the blessing you create is with outflows. Khi mình còn ngã thì cái phước mình tạo ra là phước có lỗi. Okay?
Well, that's pretty depressing.
Thanks a lot.
That's true.
Well,
Damn right, excuse my language. Everything we do is with outflows. Everything.
well, and how do you get a blessing to that?
What took you so long?
Well, I'm sorry, thank you.
Bây giờ bất cứ gì mình tạo ra là đều có lậu hết, đúng không? Tại mình còn ngã mà. As long as it's self, you have the blessing you created with outflows.
As long as you have a self.
Yes. Everything
You have a self.
you create is with outflows.
It's kind of paradoxical.
So, what do you do?
Question. If you don't have self.
In other words, okay, wait. In other words, you cannot create blessings for yourself to eradicate your own offenses. Correct? That's what it says.
Yes.
If you worry about, you wish to eradicate your own offenses, you cannot create blessings for yourself to offset your offenses. Tức có nghĩa nói cách khác là mình còn ngã thì những cái lỗ, những cái phước mình tạo đều toàn có lỗ hết. Có nghĩa là những cái phước mình tạo không thể nào diệt trừ những cái tội trước nữa. So what do you do? What do you do?
You use your blessings to cultivate, to transform the self over time to become wisdom, and then keep on working it back and forth.
It takes too long. I'm not that patient. Ông nói gì mình tu đi để mình chuyển ngã, diệt ngã để mình thành ra cái huệ, chuyển ngã thành huệ. Ông nói chậm quá. What do you do?
Will you create blood?
Turn of the triple jewel.
Shucks. That's it. That's it. This is what makes us not parasite in society, folks. You see that? We do have a purpose. This is the Buddha's wisdom, folks. Thấy cái huệ Phật dễ sợ không? Whatever he tells you about the problem, he has an answer already. You just are not asking the right questions. Những cái Phật diễn tả những cái khó khăn mà trở ngại mà tôi là Phật có giải quyết hết. Cái vấn đề tại mình không biết hỏi thôi. Yeah. So what happened is that since you cannot create blessings without outflows, then you turn to someone else who can. That's all. It's that simple. Nếu mình tạo những cái phước mà không thể tạo những phước vô lậu được thì mình nhờ những người thể tạo những phước vô lậu tạo thôi cho mình thôi. Bởi vì Phật mới tạo ra cái tam bảo như vậy. Tại trồng phước với tam bảo là trồng phước vô lậu. You see how genius it is, the simplicity of the answer? How else do you think our offices get wiped out without help? Because we can't do it ourselves.
That's why the transference of merit and virtue at the end. That's where it comes from. Blessings without outflows. There it is right there.
Yeah.
Without that, there's always outflows.
Yeah.
That's why it's given away.
We execute so that yes, we're still giving away with the self right now. We're still giving because we give away because we told to do so, and we think we get more benefit for ourselves doing that. It's the Dharma behind it. But by doing that, is the starting point of reaching the point where you can create blessings without outflows for yourself. Okay? And meanwhile, while you still are creating blessings and outflows, when you're in the Dharma assembly here, okay, the beings who may have ended the self already. You see the superior of the Dharma, of the Dharma assembly methodology. Quý vị thấy cái pháp đại chúng nó cao siêu dễ sợ không? Quý vị tu thiền ở nhà một mình thôi, ở nhà tu thì cái phước quý vị tạo chỉ là phước có lầu thôi. Vào cái pháp đại chúng chẳng hạn như cái pháp hộ tịnh độ của mình chẳng hạn, nếu như có những người Bồ Tát tới tu chung với mình, tới đứng tới tụng với mình, tới hồi hướng với mình một cái là cái phước mình tạo là phước vô lậu. You see the power of the Dharma assembly. You cultivate chant, you cultivate mantras, you cultivate yourself, you create blessing and outflows. See that? You join the Dharma assembly. That's it. During the Dharma assembly, even in the morning you go there, and maybe some of the bodhisattvas or arhats manifest and come here and cultivate with us, and then at the end they do a transference, like we're going to do later on here. They come and listen to the lecture, and then they stand up there and with us, along with us, saying, "I'm going to transfer this merit and virtue to all living beings." We are creating blessings without outflows. We all of us gets that as well, as a share of that as well. This is what makes the Dharma assembly a far superior Dharma. Là quý vị hiểu cái pháp đại thừa đại chúng nó cao siêu như vậy. Trong cái pháp đại chúng mới giúp mình tạo những cái phước vô lậu nhiều hơn mà có thể tạo được, mặc dù mình không đủ sức tạo, mình đang tạo được. See how critically important that is. Look about the people. How about the people who are helping us cultivate? Their blessings are just the same kind, without outflows. Because they are enabling us to cultivate, and therefore they have their share as well. There's a ripple effect all around us. The Dharma protectors get benefit as well. Okay? Question?
sĩ thì các vị đó mỗi ngày cũng hành trì những cái pháp trước tam bảo, vậy là có tạo phước vô lậu.
Tùy trình độ họ. Sư cô tới Kỳ La Tự tôi cam đoan với cô là toàn phước hữu lộ thôi. Tại pháp họ tu khác. Okay. So she says, she has a question. She says, what about a temple with only one monk or one nun cultivating all day and she practices? So what kind of blessings is that? It depends on this person's level. Okay. Questions? Now you know it's such a big deal. The Dharma assembly is such a big deal. That's why it's a big deal for a lot of people all over the Dharma realm. See that? They come and join us so that they have the chance to get blessing without outflows. Bởi vì hiểu tại sao cái đại hội, cái pháp hội nó quan trọng, một cái cơ hội rất là lớn lao cho chúng sanh tại vì tất cả pháp giới ta nghe biết được tới cái pháp hội, đúng pháp hội là ta tạo được cái phước đại phước, thành họ từ xa cũng tới như thế, vì họ chưa đủ sức tạo phước vô lậu, hoặc cái phước vô lậu họ tạo không dở. Okay? Questions? And we all have a chance. Ai tới tham dự đều được có cơ hội đấy. Nên bình đẳng dễ sợ như vậy. Yes.
Is there any other way to stop the outflows besides the Dharma lectures?
No other besides Buddha Dharma. Only the Maya, the Buddha Dharma is the only way of practice that can end outflows. Cái Phật pháp là cái phương pháp duy nhất để mà ngăn cái lậu. Tất cả những phương pháp khác đều hữu lậu.
Recitation of Amitabha?
No. The point here is that as long as you still have a self, whatever blessings you generate is with outflows. No matter what methodology you practice, whether you recite the Buddha's name or whatever, okay, it's with outflows. Okay. Questions? Yes.
When one sees their own nature, is that the point where they've made the full transformation of the manas consciousness to wisdom?
No. It's not automatic. Seeing nature is only a starting point. That's a good question, by the way. It's a very obscure point. This is not explained. Hỏi là khi mình kiến tánh rồi tự động mình thành mình phát huệ, nó không có tự động. Cái đó là cái phần kinh điển mấy thầy ông giảng không có rõ. Mới bắt đầu thôi. It's only a starting point. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Slide 297. The Buddha told Manjushri, the ghosting poisonless is the present Bodhisattva foremost wealth. The Brahmin woman is now Earth Store Bodhisattva. 299. Phật bảo Văn Thù Sư lợi chú kỹ vô độc. Lúc ấy là Bồ Tát, tài thủ ngày nay, còn nữ Bà La Môn thì chính là Địa Tạng Bồ Tát. The Bodhisattva foremost wealth, cái Bồ Tát tài chủ. This is his story. Cái người Bồ Tát này, cái chuyện người Bồ Tát này là như vậy. After Shakyamuni Buddha's Nirvana, entered Nirvana, there's a prince called Gold Banner. Sau khi ngài Thích Ca Mâu Ni nhập diệt thì có một cái tài tử, người hoàng tử tên là Kim Trà. He's very arrogant and full of deviant views. Rất là ngạo, có tà kiến, đầy tà kiến. He did not believe in the Buddha Dharma, không có tin Phật pháp. There's a bhikshu who told the monk that, who met with the monk and told the monk that inside the temple is an image of the Buddha that was very adorned and should come in and take a look. Thì người tỳ kheo này mới nói với người hoàng tử đó là trong chùa đó có một cái hình, một cái tượng Phật rất là đẹp, và nên vào đó, hoàng tử nên vào đó để mà thấy, mà nhìn. So the prince did, and when looking at that, he found that the image is so beautiful, and he said the Buddha must be quite some size himself in person. Thì hoàng tử nhìn cái tượng không mà nói là cái tượng sao mà đẹp, sao mà trang nghiêm như vậy. Nếu mà Phật còn sống chắc là càng trang nghiêm hơn. And so this extent is his wealth, his breeding. So the monk had to tell the prince he was supposed to pay respect to the image. So the prince then put his palm together and said, Nam Mô Phổ. Thì cái ông thầy tu phải nhắc hoàng tử đó là phải biết lễ phép một tí, gặp hình Phật thì phải đảnh lễ. Thành ra hoàng tử mới là chắp tay lại và nói là vái là Nam Mô Phật. So he turned to his palace and couldn't stop thinking of Buddha. He left such a deep impression. The spirit left a deep impression with him. Even dreamt of the Buddha and wake up very, very happy. Thì cái kinh nghiệm đó làm hoàng tử rất là thích thú, và lúc mà trở về cung điện thì vẫn không thể nào ngừng nghĩ về Phật. Đêm thì nghĩ thì mơ thấy Phật, và lúc thức tỉnh này là rất là sung sướng. Okay. And then the prince then gave up deviant views and took refuge at Triple Jewel. Thì hoàng tử mới bỏ những cái tà kiến và quy y với Tam Bảo. And because of good roots from paying respects to the Buddha, tại vì đã biết lễ Phật, the prince encountered 10,100,000,000 Ayutas Buddhas, gặp rất nhiều Phật, đếm không hết được. He obtained a very deep Buddha recitation of Samadhi, đã đắc được cái niệm Phật tam muội. Many Buddhas appear and give him prediction. Phật đã xuất hiện ra và thọ ký cho hoàng tử. And from then on, he went through 110,000 Asamkhya Kalpas without falling in the evil path. Lúc đó là qua trải thời gian rất là xa, A Tăng Kỳ Kiếp, không đọa vào tam đạo. Until now, he obtained profound Surangama Samadhi, và bây giờ đã đạt được cái Thủ Lăng Nghiêm Định. Thủ Lăng Nghiêm Định là cái định mà nó kiên cố nhất, nó mạnh nhất trong những loại định ông được. The Surangama Samadhi is the most durable, the deepest Samadhi possible. The number one Samadhi. He has it. All from the act of paying respect to the Buddha. Okay, and now he's actually that Bodhisattva foremost well. Vì lễ Phật thôi mới được phước như vậy, mà thành Bồ Tát. Okay, why is it called foremost wealth? Okay. Okay. Because in the Buddha Dharma, okay, we measure wealth. There are 7 kinds of wealth. Về trong Phật pháp có 7 cái loại của báu. Okay, the first one is faith. Đầu tiên hết là tín, cái lòng tin. And then comes morality. Sau đó là được giới, của cải của quý. Thứ nhì là cái giới, because from you cannot have morality without proper faith. Mình chỉ được đắc giới khi nào mình đủ cái lòng tin thôi. Nó ngược lại, nếu lòng tin quý vị chưa đủ thì quý vị tu giới không được, quý vị phải phá giới. Okay? See the secret behind the teaching here. It says you want to keep precepts, you have to have the proper faith. It's not about money. Okay? To obtain precepts, you have to have the faith. And yesterday we had such an example, didn't we? At the end of the lecture, yesterday's lecture, I proved to you that none of you have the faith, except for one. That's why you're all perfectly willing to break precepts, to violate precepts. Ngày hôm qua giảng kinh Dược sư thì có cuối cùng you were gone there. Cuối cùng có nghe you listen to the lecture tapes, MP3 file, you catch that part where I showed to all of them, all my students, that none of them had any faith except for one. Okay? And then from faith, from morality, then you have learning. Phần thứ ba là đa văn. Đa văn là tại vì đa văn học được, biết được, hiểu rộng được là tại vì tại vì mình tốt. Hiểu giới tức là không làm ác là tốt. So what does goodness have to do with morality? Morality is goodness. You keep yourself, you are a moral person, then you are goodness. Okay? And number four, the fourth aspect is giving or renunciation. Cái thứ tư là xả. And you cannot have renunciation without learning. Không xả được nếu mình không có hiểu, không có biết. Okay, number five, wisdom. Wisdom unfolds because of renunciation. Okay, tại mình xả được, mình bỏ được, mình mới mở được cái huệ. Number six, shame. Number seven, remorse. Thứ sáu là tàm, thứ bảy là quý. Any questions? These are the measures of Buddhist wealth. Đây là cái của trong Phật pháp, của cải trong Phật pháp là đầy 7 cái của này. Khi mà giàu á, những người giàu là người có 7 cái loại này. Okay? Questions? Thắc mắc gì không? Yes.
The number 6 and the number 7 are often not very clearly defined.
6, 7 gì khi nó không có. Okay. Good question. Cái tàm quý nó hơi mơ hồ một tí. Sư cô, tàm gì quý đi?
Tàm quý là biết hổ thẹn.
Hổ thẹn. Là sao phải chia hai làm gì? Hổ thẹn là một. Tại sao mình phải chia hai? Tại sao nói là 6 là tàm, là một cái của báo, quý là của báo khác nữa. Ta phải chia hai. Tại sao nó tàm? Tại sao nó hổ thẹn? Gom lại một cho nó khỏe. Ta phải chia nó rõ ràng như vậy. Okay.
Còn cái kia là hổ thẹn, mình hổ thẹn để mình ăn năn cái mình làm xấu. Okay. Question. Number 7. What is the meaning of the 7 Buddha? 7 Buddha. 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 7
Close.
Ý là gì thưa thầy?
Huh?
Tức là để nói là nó tàn á,
Yeah.
là biết hổ thẹn, quý là biết ăn năn, viên ra phải.
Yeah, bác nói như vậy như đều chưa đúng, gần đúng. Oh, close. Okay, anyone else? What's the difference? What's shame and remorse? Yes.
I would say that shame is a result of doing something wrong, where it makes you ponder what you did. Remorse helps you resolve and do better.
Close. Okay. You're doing well when it comes to definition and languages. But no cigars, not yet. Anyone? I need backup. Anyone else? There is a sequence here, folks. Nó có một cái thứ tự trong nó có ý nghĩa, rất có ý nghĩa. Muốn tu á, đầu tiên thấy đó, cái của cải đầu tiên quan trọng nhất của mình là cái lòng tín. Okay? The first and foremost important asset you have with cultivation is the faith. You cannot fake it. You can't put on, a monk's robe and sit here and pretend to be a faithful and sincere monk. It doesn't work. I can't fake it. No one can. Okay? So far so good? Without the faith, you cannot keep precepts. Without precepts, you cannot have real learning. It doesn't stick. It doesn't register. Okay? And without learning, then you don't have enough knowledge to be able to give up your attachments. You see that? See a hierarchy? Mình không có giới, không giữ được giới thì mình không thể nào đa văn, không thể học hỏi được. Học hỏi đâu phải là phải đi học ở trường học hay nào không? Okay? Mà không có đa văn thì không thể nào xả được. Không đa văn có nghĩa là không hiểu được thì không cách nào mình bỏ được những cái chấp trước mình. Mình không hiểu sao mình bỏ được. Mình không biết cái gì là tốt xấu sao mình bỏ được. Mình chỉ bỏ cái nào mình thấy nó xấu mình cũng bỏ được thôi. Đúng không? Tốt thì mình giữ. Ok? Mà nếu không bỏ được thì cái huệ không thể nào nó mở ra được. So far so good. So far without enunciation, then wisdom cannot possibly unfold because you're not willing to let it happen. You still hang on to your stupidity. Make sense so far? Are we on the same page? Up to number 5. Tới số 5 mình đồng ý với nhau không? See the value, this is what we value in cultivation. Ultimately it has to be wisdom, right? Mình quý tu hành cái đó, cái quan trọng tu hành là cái huệ chứ đâu phải là cái chùa chiền hay là tiền bạc hay là xe cộ hay là Phật tử hay là đệ tử đâu. There's no way here, folks. It says success in cultivation is measured in terms of temples, in terms of bank accounts, the cars you drive, number of disciples you have, number of books you publish, websites the hits on your website. Okay? So far so good. And we got the wisdom. And all of a sudden, there's no more explanation. Number 6 and number 7. Shame and remorse. What happened? Một như tới số 6 đến 7 một hướng giảng cũng như chị nói là tà với quý luôn. Tại sao vậy? Hả? Why is it an asset? Tại sao cái này là cái đồ có giá trị? Why? Okay, keep you arrogant. Okay, so
Keeps you from returning to that way.
How is it an asset?
Returning to that way of being.
Okay, let me define it first. Okay, what's shame? What's remorse? What's the difference? Cái khác biệt giữa 6 cái 7 tàm quý là gì? Okay? What is shame? You should be ashamed of yourself. Don't take it personally. Okay? What does that mean?
It keeps our self from erupting and becoming large again. As wisdom unfolds,
No. You're wrong. You're off the rails.
Pride.
Huh?
Remove your pride, your ego, smash.
No. Người có học thức.
We shame because of all the stupid things that we do.
See, it's that precise. Nó rõ ràng như vậy. Why should you be ashamed of yourself? I started with that. Why should you be ashamed of yourself? Why? Tại sao quý vị phải hổ thẹn? Tại quý vị ngốc. Nếu không ngốc thì cần gì phải hổ thẹn? Right? You should not be, you're only ashamed because you're being stupid. Right? If you're not stupid, why should you? You're doing something wrong. Mình chỉ hổ thẹn cái nào mình làm trật mình mới hổ thẹn thôi. Còn nếu mình làm trúng tội gì mình hổ thẹn? Trúng mình phải cái gì? If you're right, you should be arrogant. Well, sorry. Right? So that's shame. Agree so far? Why is it an asset? This is subtlety that I want you to pay attention. That's why I didn't explain this. Number 6, number 7. See if anyone catches it.
Tôi nghĩ là nó nằm sau trí tuệ thì có trí tuệ soi sáng về. Lúc đó là cái tuệ soi thấy biết là đúng sai.
Mà tại sao cái đó là cái của quý? Tại sao biết hổ thẹn là một cái đáng có giá trị? Why is it an asset to you?
Nếu không biết thì sẽ làm sai.
Làm sai sao? Sai thôi. Ai không làm sai? Tôi làm sai, cô làm sai.
Nếu làm sai lặp đi lặp lại thì trở thành vô minh.
Close, okay. Yes.
So is an asset
because
you see your mistake.
Yes. Why is it an asset?
because it keeps us humble, keeps us working.
No. Why is it an asset?
Because you can recognize.
Bác chỉ biết tại sao cái này là cái của quý? Tại sao cái hổ thẹn là cái đồ có giá trị, rất quý báu? Tại sao? Why? Getting close. Yes. Who else? Come on. Yes.
It's not mistake and it should improve the line.
No. No cigar. Okay. Yes.
Recognize what is wrong and what's right.
Okay, they're getting close, but not they are. That's not what I'm looking for. Yes. Who else? Come on. Quickly. Come on, folks. Come. Anyone? See, you can't even recognize what of value. You don't know how to cultivate. After all this time I spent with you, I invested in you. Oh.
It's an incentive to go toward wisdom. I'm going to be
The
stupid.
sense of shame is also that brings it like our action for shame from the past. It's like a driver to keep us there.
This is what keeps me awake at night, because I say, if I disappear from the horizon tomorrow, and they cultivate up to number 5, and they wouldn't know how to progress me further. So that's what today I had to get up, put on my garment's robe, and then drive the roast meat and talk Dharma to them, because they still do not understand shame and remorse yet.
Well, you're right.
We need you, Master.
Just drag us along. We'll listen.
See, It is so intellectual an experience for you. Cái gì coi cái này giống như cái kiến thức mình nghe mình bàn qua làm lại thôi. But this is very real. We're talking about asset here, folks. This is something concrete, something of value that you have or you don't. But what is that important? It's not intellectual concept. Đến phải chuyện mình nói chuyện trí thức với nhau nha. Nói chuyện này là chuyện thực tế lắm. Cái này là cái của mình, của quý của mình đó. Okay? Why is shame an asset to you?
Is it a wheel that takes us back to faith?
Because at 5, so far at 5, ở số 5 trí huệ, có trí huệ có nghĩa là gì? Mình biết sai biết trái. So far so good. Okay? Having wisdom means you can tell right from wrong. Right? That's what wisdom is about. Then why do you need shame? Shame is the realization that even though you know it's wrong, you still make a mistake. I repeat that for you. Even though you have the wisdom, even though you know it's wrong, you still make a mistake. That's shame. Therefore, you should be ashamed. Mặc dù mình có trí huệ, mình biết trái, biết phải, biết đúng, biết sai, nhưng điều mình vẫn làm trật như thường. Vì vậy mình mới hổ thẹn. Nếu mình không biết trật, đúng với sai, thì mình hổ thẹn lắm. Mình đã có trí huệ rồi mình mới hổ thẹn. You see the beauty of this is now you call yourself a person with wisdom, and yet you still make a mistake. So far so good. See the subtlety here, the subtle teaching here. You have wisdom already, and yet you still fail, you still err. Therefore, you should be ashamed of yourself. See the logic behind it. Okay? That's the definition of shame. Then why is it an asset? I still haven't answered why it's an asset. Như vậy tôi mới giảng nghị quý vị tại sao mình cái hổ thẹn là chuyện quan trọng thôi, là mình cần hổ thẹn thôi. Để chưa vẫn giảng nghị quý vị tại sao hổ thẹn là cái tàm là một cái của cải của quý của mình. Why is it? Because without shame, you will not stop making the mistake. Và nếu không biết cái tàm, biết cái hổ thẹn đó, thì mình sẽ tiếp tục làm vậy. Agree? Anyone disagrees with me? You know it's wrong to steal. You know it's wrong to lie. Okay? We all know it, right? We all have wisdom. Then why do we steal? Why do we lie? Because we're not ashamed of it. Okay? We really have no shame for it. You buy that?
But it just keeps crossing itself.
What do you mean crossing itself?
Well, you keep lying and you keep being ashamed of it, but you keep on doing it.
You're really not ashamed of it.
Well, but you are.
You're trying to convince you are, but you're not.
Well, you are.
Not at all.
There's nobody can be proud. That's shame.
It's an asset because until you're ashamed of it, you will keep on having that kind of outlook. So all your cultivation keeps on flowing out like crazy. You cannot keep whatever you have. You're being stolen. You have leaky vessel. You cannot keep whatever you have of value inside. That's why it's an asset. Because you can stop your losses. Tên của quý là tại vì mình biết tàm quý, tức là mình có thể ngừng lại cái lậu của mình, thì mới giữ của mình được. Mình không biết ngưng á, thì mình giữ của mình được. Okay?
If the shame stops the losses, then why the remorse?
Hang on. Honey, hold your horses. Are we on the same page, number 6? Are we clear number 6?
Yes.
Cái gì có thắc mắc gì nữa số 6 không?
Okay.
Có đồng ý cái đó là cái của quý mình không? You all agree as an asset.
Yes.
To no shame. Agree.
Yes.
What about remorse? What is remorse and why is it an asset? Let me clarify it for you.
Well,
2 questions. What about remorse and why is it an asset?
Well, remorse is a profound sorrow about something that we've done, some action in the past.
Why can't we call it shame and profound shame? But why do we have to call it remorse?
Well, I said profound sorrow, not shame, but remorse.
Okay, profound sorrow. Okay.
It's a combination of regret and sorrow.
Okay. What else? Why is it an asset?
I'm not answering that part of the question. I just had to.
So half of the answer? Okay, anyone else? Yes.
Because you could remediate. With remorse, you can remediate what you have done wrong.
What is, there's a remedial, it doesn't say remorse. Oh, it says remorse, it doesn't say remedial. No.
Is it like a contrition? Is it a heartfelt sorrow?
It's a reminder.
Yeah.
You're reminding yourself because you're taking yourself back into that state.
Anyone else? You see, this is what's lacking in the English translation. This is why I look at you struggle because you don't get it.
I think Kuei.
The translation is not that good. What is Kuei? What does Kuei mean?
I don't know. I cannot translate that.
This is very old Chinese. This is ancient Chinese. This is old Chinese.
Yeah, but is it used there to mean that you are not good enough because say like you see the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas are cultivating.
The Kuei here is very interesting. The Kuei here, you see the Chinese character. You can guess. Giờ tôi dùng dạng tiếng Tàu thì nó viết cho nó vui. The Chinese character is very interesting. The Kuei here has a heart, has a mind here, okay, that precedes a Kuei, right? A ghost. So the Kuei here, the remorse here in Chinese character has 2 sections. One is the mind. And number 2 is a ghost. What does it tell you? Phần đó là phần chữ tâm. Cái phần đầu tiên hết cái chữ tàu này. Phần tiên hết chữ này, phần này Ngọc cái chữ gọi là chữ tâm này. Tâm là cái trí mình đó. Còn cái chữ này chữ quỷ. So, what does it tell me?
Something is haunting you?
No, there's a shadow inside your mind.
Yes.
Does it have something to do with the 84,000
Huh?
84,000 Dharma doors?
No. Okay. Anyone else? Whose mind is this? Huh?
Ghosts.
Tâm là tâm gì? Huh? This is the beauty of language. You guys miss so much. I feel so bad for you. Buddha Dharma is so beautiful. Whose mind is this? Huh? Is it yours or mine?
Mine.
Yours, not mine.
It's mine.
Yours. Hers. His.
It's my mind.
Okay? What else? So your mind, not mine. See, I'm the remorse. I'm a remorseful person. Tôi là người biết tức quý, người quý. Okay? Thì cái tâm này là không phải tâm của tôi mà tâm của quý vị. Tụi tao nó quỷ quái lắm. Mấy chữ nó có sâu xa không thể tưởng được. The Chinese are so clever, they're so profound. And we lose so much from the translation. And even nowadays they have the Chinese, simplified Chinese characters. They lose so much in terms of its content, its meaning, its depth. Yes?
I read that the Cangjie who created the Chinese character was a Bodhisattva.
Yeah, it's Bodhisattva. Very profound. Okay? This is fascinating because what it says is that the mind is yours. I'm the remorseful person, but the mind is yours. And what does the mind say? Your mind look at me and sees me as a ghost. Quý vị, cái tâm này, cái chữ tâm này, chữ tim này, tim của quý vị, cái trí quý vị. This is your mind looking at me, the remorseful person, and sees a ghost. Quý vị nhìn tôi thấy tôi là con quỷ. So clever the Chinese is. Such a beautiful thing. Nobody gets it. Of course, nobody gets it. Only I'm the only person who gets it. This is a lonely world.
Very lonely.
Okay, so you have remorse. So I look at you and what you're saying?
It
That's
means
ridiculous.
what it means. What's remorse? Remorse means that I publicly admit my mistake. Therefore, all of you know that I am the person in the wrong. I'm a ghost. I'm a troublemaker. I'm no good.
Okay. That's not
Ghosts are troublemakers. They're no good for us.
no.
Okay?
What's confession, not remorse?
Wait. That's a confession. But to be remorseful meaning that I need to make a public thing. I need to admit my shame publicly. See, the shame is internal. Cái hổ thẹn chỉ là còn giấu được, nhưng còn giấu ở trong. No, tôi hổ thẹn. You say, you hear the monks talk about it. I'm so ashamed of my cultivation. I cultivate all these years and I get nowhere. You know, I work so hard, I get nowhere. Mình hổ thẹn như sao? I'm so ashamed of myself. Okay, he's still hiding like crazy. He says, I'm ashamed, but he doesn't say what he's ashamed about. Remorseful is that I'm ashamed because X, Y, Z. I admit it. I made these mistakes. That's why I'm ashamed. That's called remorse. Because you now know about it. Before, until number 6, bây giờ quý vị nghe tới số 6 là tàm đó, là tôi biết, hổ thẹn là tôi biết một mình tôi biết thôi. Không ai biết hết á. Cái thứ 7 là ai cũng biết hết á. Isn't that crazy?
So you keep doing it, you can't have shame, and you can't have remorse unless you tell it.
That's right.
Wow.
Unless you admit it. Until you admit it, you have no remorse.
To somebody. You have to admit it to somebody.
Have you ever heard of all you who learn Mahayana all these years, have you ever heard about shame and remorse explained that way?
No.
Anywhere?
No.
But you've talked about us, when we have done something, we have to verbalize that.
This is the essence of Mahayana, folks. This is why it's called an asset. Bởi vì đây là ngoài của quý của mình vì vậy, tại vì mình không cái này cái pháp đại thừa nó sâu xa cái độ như vậy. Now you understand about remorse, right? Remorse is that I need to publicly admit it to you all my mistakes. My mistakes. That's called being remorse. Okay? You can't come to me and say, oh, Master, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake. But don't tell anyone else. That's not being remorseful. Quý vị tới tôi nói thêm đây con sám hối, con làm bậy, nên thầy đừng nói cho ai biết hết. Cái đó không phải là tà, không phải là quý. Okay? It's not true remorse until everyone knows about it in the public domain. Okay? Why is it an asset? Tại sao cái này là cái của quý của mình? Why? Well, why is it an asset? Why is it useful? Why is it of value? Yes?
It's a good deterrent.
It has value. It is concrete value. Why is it valuable?
Because you don't want to set yourself
Con
up.
nghĩ chữ quý này thì nói là mọi người đều thấy mình thì con cho là mọi người là tấm gương, luôn phản chiếu với mình thì luôn thì mọi người là tấm gương.
Very close. Okay? Anyone else? I will not translate that because I want to keep the English-speaking people, the non-Vietnamese people, in the dark. Yes. Anyone else? Huh? Why is it an asset? Come on, you, the people, all the wisdom and savvy people.
Exposure is not.
You take the retribution on the spot.
No, it allows us to repent, clean out the closet.
It's an asset because now everyone is scrutinizing you. You cannot hide anymore.
That's right.
Before, you are the only person who can look for your mistake. Now, everyone else is looking for your mistake. Everyone. Because they know you're a ghost. Because they know you're a troublemaker. They don't trust you anymore. That's an asset. See how beautiful the teaching is? Do you agree with me? It's a real asset to be at number 7. It's such a huge asset to have. Why? Because when at number 6, lúc mà số 6 ở chỗ tam á, là mình tự biết cái lỗ lậu mình thôi, mình chặn mình lại được. Bây giờ mọi người, tất cả mọi người đều chặn mình hết. Thành cách nào mình trí được nữa. Number 6, only I know I'm looking for a way to stop my outflows. And number 7, all of you are looking and trying to stop my outflows.
So you make everybody your good knowing advisor.
Huge asset.
So that's ugly going beyond good looking.
Isn't that fascinating? Huh? So, any other questions? Ai thắc mắc gì nữa không? So anyone wants to make a confession today? Có ai muốn sám hối thu tội gì không? Anyone?
I would, Master, but I don't
Yeah,
have much
right. There's a sign up list for next week. Có ai mà không đủ thì giờ thì ghi danh tuần sau sám hối không sao hết. We reserve plenty of time next session for all your public acknowledgments of your mistakes.
Now you sound like you're going to the confessional of the Catholic Church.
And there's a typo in the next line.
What is it?
Do the
Yeah.
typographical error on the next one.
Yeah. Got a capital D in Buddha Dharma.
Thank you. Okay, time is up, so we need to end it here. But any other? Thank you.
After you make us all feel real bad, we're going to end it. I'm so glad we ended it right now. Really great.
Whoops. So anyway, finally, this is why this bodhisattva, this is why in Mahayana faith is formed, because without faith you have no chance. Trong pháp đại thừa mình là cái tâm tín cái quan trọng nhất. Tại không có tín không cách nào có của cải hết. Without faith you cannot accrue any wealth. Yes.
Why did the Buddha say that, mention that the ghost king is a bodhisattva? Why did he say that?
Why? What do you think? I don't know.
It's in the sutra.
Yeah, but there should be a purpose for saying that. Otherwise, there is no need to mention them. Like we know the story that the ghost king greeted the Brahmin woman.
Yeah. So why do you say why do you think that the Buddha says the ghost king is that bodhisattva and so on? Huh? Why? Quý vị nghĩ sao? Vì là sao mình nói là dạng như Bồ Tát mà cái người đó là người đó bây giờ là Bồ Tát. It's just that now through his cultivation now before he was a ghost king, but now he's a bodhisattva. He progressed through his cultivation. So before he was a troublemaker, and then he's the king of the troublemakers, and now he progressed in his cultivation. He went from the bad side to the good side. Okay, so people change. People get better. Before he was such a king of the troublemakers, and now he's a good guy.
He learned from his errors.
Probably practice shame and remorse. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, transcripts. May this